never falter. There's a rumble in the jungle, I ain't running for my life. They say winners never quit, cause how would I get the prize? Push through the pain, rise from the flames. That's how you know.
The winds may be up, but the weather is gorgeous here in Southern California. We're live in Fontana Auto Club Speedway, where Xfinity cars are set to race for the 5th time in 2019. We talked about Tyler Reddick from California. The other California kid in the field would be Cole Custer. He grew up racing throughout this part of the country. He has graduated to NASCAR, and he starts 3rd today. Let's go from the driver's seat with the driver of the 00.
Cole Custer, this is Brad Keselowski up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Great, Cole. Well, I got to say, you're the last Ford driver to win a race in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. You're from California, and you're starting 3rd. Got a lot of reasons to be very confident about your race today. What do you think we should expect up here in the booth when we're watching your car out on the track?
Oh, well, it's going to be a crazy Fontana race, like always, from the bottom of the track to the top of the track, flying around. But I feel like our Thomas Piper Mustang was pretty solid in practice. We just needed to do some minor adjustments. But I think you're going to be running the fence here soon, and you're going to have to work the bottom also. So I don't know. We're just going to have to take it one lap at a time.
Well, Cole, it's Michael. Appreciate you wearing that visor cam. It's going to give us some great shots. The wind is up. The grip level is down. How do you handle all that?
Yeah, that's been the craziest thing, just this wind. I mean, through 1 and 2, you feel like a superhero, and then 3 and 4, it's like, you know, you're going straight to the fence, and you got to park it in the center of the corner. But, you know, it's just everybody's got to deal with it. It's just who can navigate the best.
All right, we're looking forward to riding along with you. Thanks for the view. Have a good time.
Thank you, guys.
How about the drivers starting on the first 2 rows? Tyler Reddick, Kyle Busch up front. Row 2, Cole Custer with Christopher Bell, who won earlier this season at Atlanta. A lot of talent in the field today, and plenty of talent on pit road as well. Let's hear from our reporters. We start things off with Jamie Little. Great to have you here, Jamie.
Thank you, Adam. Great to be here. A beautiful day for racing. You know, we've been talking so much about the main storyline, and that's Kyle Busch and his pursuit to get win number 200 in today's race. Well, Tyler Reddick, he wants to spoil that moment. He told me earlier today that he and Christopher Bell have talked. They feel like they have something for that 18. And hey, keep in mind, it's been 23 races since an Xfinity Series regular has gone to victory lane here. So how cool that would be for Tyler Reddick to do it in his home state. Regan?
Well, Jamie Little, another driver that would love to spoil that party today as well is Justin Allgaier. He finished 2nd in this race a year ago. I asked him what his biggest concerns for today's race were, and he brought up the wind that we keep hearing so much from all of these drivers about. The biggest concern for him about that wind was he didn't get to run the top side of the racetrack against the wall like he normally would in practice. He had to cheat down just a little bit and run more of a 3/4 mark line instead of all the way up against it. So it's going to be a little bit new for him today when he does venture up there. Wants to be sure he keeps the right side on that race car all day long as he tries to go out and get the win.
You got to be willing to adjust here, no doubt, and you got to have some versatility. Allgaier had that last year when he was 2nd to Joey Logano. We look at the weather right now, 75 degrees. It's beautiful here, but we will continue to talk about the wind right now, gusting at 25 miles per hour. And here's a great story. It was mentioned during race day. Garrett Smithley rolling off from the 25th position. He's out of Peachtree City, Georgia. But how about this? His dad, Captain R.K. Smithley, did the flyover today here at the racetrack. It was spectacular. And you know what's so special about this is we know this region of the country has been severely impacted by the wildfires. He's a fire bomber. He's been not just serving this region of the country, he's been all around the world. So cool to see him doing the flyover today, special for father and son.
Yeah, it's just such a great family sport, Brad. You know that. And to be able to participate on the track and have your father doing something so special and so giving to the community and celebrating that, I just really enjoy it.
Yeah, way to go, Smithley family. And it was a really awesome flyover, too, by the way. When you have a DC-10, that thing couldn't have been 1,000 feet off the grandstands. Certainly, if you get a chance, you're watching at home, to come to a NASCAR race and to experience something like that, it's part of the pre-race experience that you'll never forget.
Heard Regan talking about the 7 of Justin Allgaier. He'll start 8th this afternoon.
This West Coast swing has been a challenge, but y'all knocked it out of the park. We battled some adversity, but I don't want to leave the West Coast on a down note. Let's leave it on a good enough. So let's go to get ourselves a good shot today, and we'll have some fun.
How about this third at Daytona, second at Atlanta? Then they hit the skids, right, and had the engine problem at Las Vegas, caught up in an accident last week. Something tells me redemption is on the way for the driver out of Illinois.
Yeah, Justin's been running well. It hasn't been that. He's had some bad luck, some bad fortune, and some of that has certainly not been his own fault, for sure.
What about this, Brad? You see Tyler Reddick, our pole sitter, he's chosen the outside. I was curious when we were talking to Cole, if we had time to ask him what it's like, and you can answer this question, what is it like to be stuck down on the bottom? That guy on the outside can put that air right on your quarter panel, make you loose down there.
Absolutely, and what these guys are going to be thinking on the restarts and the start, which we're about to see, is if I can keep someone from getting to the right side of my car, I'll be faster. That's one of the weak points of these race cars that love to have air on the right side, and when you get a car beside you, Michael, as you know, you lose all the air on that right side. So what you're going to see today is a lot of drafting on these restarts and starts, and a lot of bumping. We're pushing each other, and a lot of guys trying to protect someone from getting to the outside. That might work out to the bottom line's favor if they get too aggressive on the top and they can just go the shorter distance. So we'll have to see how it goes here on the start.
150 laps, 300 miles. Xfinity team set to do battle at Auto Club Speedway for the 30th time. The green flag is in the air.
Back to the 20, he's on his tires. 18's going to chase you up here. Make sure you stay down against him here, so 1.5 back to the 20.
Immediately you see Kyle Busch with a great start. He's going to clear for the lead with this push from Cole Custer. The Towers coming back strong on the outside. Kyle uses his experience to pull a big side draft into turn 3. That's going to give him the momentum to clear for the lead finally. Or is it?
Reddick won't give up, Willie. He's using that high side perfectly.
Corner, you're good.
But right there, Kyle Busch completes the pass. But a draft is coming from behind. Will Tyler dive to the bottom?
Reddick has never led a lap here. That first circuit out front for Kyle Busch. The 801st time he's led the field in Xfinity competition here at Auto Club.
It's going to be fun to watch, Adam. Some of these guys that didn't qualify so well, like Michael Annett back in the 15th starting position, how are they able to use the draft that Brad talked about, that side drafting, and work their way to the front? You can see Noah Gragson to the bottom of the track underneath Chase Briscoe, and there's the 7 of Allgaier. Heard his little pep talk to his team before the race started. We're going to get them today.
Brandon Jones in that mix, so is Nemechek making it 3 wide at the line. Reddick leads that lap.
Tyler was just a little bit better entering turn 3, was able to get his nose out and be just a touch lower on Kyle and get right to his quarter panel, pull the side draft, and accelerate to the lead down the front stretch. Nice move.
How many laps does that make Reddick led here?
That's 801 to 1 now for the drivers that are 1-2.
How about that? Look at that car down the back straight. What's that feel like as a driver? I mean, that thing's bouncing left to right, left to right. What's that feel like, Brad?
Feels like driving down a dirt road, except rather than going 25, 35 mile an hour, you're going almost 200. It's a rough ride. But that's part of the challenge here at Auto Club Speedway.
The other thing you got to keep in mind, these are the tires that they qualified on earlier, so that can be a bit of an issue throughout this first stage, which is 35 laps
You're
in length. Absolutely
right, Adam. For these NASCAR Xfinity Series cars, the rules say they have to use the tires they start qualifying on to start the race. And with that said, Auto Club Speedway has a lot of tire wear, so these tires are already a little bit worn out, Michael.
7, 8, and 9 right there in a row, seeing who can get the best of this nice little tussle.
Racing for 5, 6, 7. Somewhere Dale Jr.'s having an anxiety attack. You could throw a blanket over the 3 drivers from Junior Motorsports.
He's having a 911 in this situation when you see your cars racing together that closely.
Noah Gragson does a good job leaving room. Turn 4 is very tricky. If you're running the bottom, it really throws you up to the outside lane at the last second. You have to be very careful. Noah Gragson did a good job of leaving his teammate a little bit of room and not causing the situation there.
Awesome start for Tyler Reddick. Kyle Busch got the break on the initial get-go, and he's able to pass Kyle and put a couple of car links on him. We haven't seen that a whole lot in 2019. or maybe ever, with the way that Kyle Busch has run this Xfinity Series.
Good weekend for Jeremy Clements. Top 15 in practice consistently yesterday, and taking 12th away from Brandon Jones in the 19. And there's the one of Michael Annett coming along as well.
Yeah, that's a great run early for Annett, but I just want to celebrate Jeremy Clements a minute. His dad, Tony, builds those engines. That's a family team, and he's up there battling near the top 10. That team has overachieved this year, and I think it's awesome to watch.
A couple of years ago, he got a win on the road course in Wisconsin, made the playoffs. A great story for the group out of Spartanburg, South Carolina. What about the early message delivered by driver 7? Allgaier is 5th from 8th, and we know he just gets better and better as the day goes on. We've seen it every week this year.
And Justin has a lot of experience here. He knows where to go on the racetrack. I see him making good moves, using the right lines. Early in the run, you see a lot of drivers running the bottom of 3 and 4, top of 1 and 2. The reason for that is pretty simple. 1 and 2 has a lot of grip at the top, but it's a lot longer distance. So as the runs go on, you want to move up over there. 3 and 4 has equal grip between the top and the bottom of the racetrack. So until your tires get worn out, you can run the bottom there longer, as we watch this battle for 2nd. Or 3rd, I should say.
And that's Cole Custer from the driver's seat. We're going to hop on his head here. It was described earlier as a BB and a tin can. That's what it looks like to me, just shaking around. And by the way, folks at home, while you're running 180 miles an hour and making decisions about moves, you got to shake your way through all that.
Real tight coming off of turn 4 as they come back to the start-finish line.
I like what I see out of Cole, though. He's able to get all the way down to the apron in turns 3 and 4. That's going to be really good for him as this race progresses, because not a lot of people can run down there. It's usually just a little bit more grip there, Michael.
And I like how the drivers use that apron down in 3 and 4, Adam, to help their car turn through the corner. It de-wedges it, and they can shoot to the left.
Early portion of a race here in California, and it's the California kid, Tyler Reddick, out front. 35 laps complete, Auto Club Speedway in Southern California for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. And this would be the battle for the race lead. Tyler Reddick, Kyle Busch going at it here at Auto Club.
And there goes Kyle. Will this be the slide job as he goes up in front of? No, he stops before he goes all the way in front of Reddick. Leaves the lane out there. Can Tyler come back?
Tyler gets a little bit of a draft on the backstretch here, but it kind of stalls out right here. I'm not sure if he let Kyle go or what happened. You see Kyle pull back just a little bit.
And when you say let go, I mean, this early in the race, sometimes it's best to take care of those tires and not force the issue, and maybe that's part of Tyler's plan right now.
Well, Tyler took off so strong. I mean, he drove by Kyle very fast and with a lot of speed or a lot of grip on the bottom lanes. And you have to wonder if maybe, Michael, that he might have a little bit more of a short run setup in the car.
In case you're wondering, the stage is here, 35, and then an 80-lap run to the checkers in that final stage. And I'll tell you what, Tyler Reddick not letting Kyle get away, and you know, it appears to be exactly what you said. You get on the straightaway, and you kind of utilize that draft to reel back in the 18. What's the latest with driver 2, Jamie?
Well, Adam, Tyler had a taste of this at Las Vegas. Remember, that battle was heating up, but he tangled with the 20 of Bell, and they went into the wall. He said, I know what it feels like. I know I have a car capable of beating Kyle. He does not want him to lose sight right now. He just updated his car. He said, we're not bad at all. 1 on the loose side. That is it for the 2.
I just love how confident the kid is. He hits the wall yesterday in practice, spins out in final practice, and still very confident about his race car, wins the pole today, and running up front. And another driver that's working his way toward the front of this thing, Justin Allgaier, 4th right now, Regan.
Well, Justin Allgaier just making the pass fourth from 8th position where he started, but he's not overly happy with his race car yet. Take a look into listen to this.
I'm pretty good in 3 and 4, but I am sideways, middle aisle 1 and 2, just like qualifying. I'm no more than quarter throttle from mid-corner aisle 1 and 2. Just over-rotate on the throttle.
Some very precise information from Justin to his team. Brad, how How important is that early on in a race to be that precise with the information for your crew chief?
Well, this is definitely the time, Regan, to be giving a lot of feedback. You know, we're still about 18, 19 laps from the end of the stage, but the team needs a little bit of time to think about what they want to do as well, to practice the pit stop changes and all those things. So it's really important to give that feedback early, and that's really a veteran move by Justin.
See the 23, John Hunter Nemechek, making his second start at California. He gets in the wall here.
Well, that's tiptoeing on that ragged edge, and you jump over the cushion, and there's some tire rubber and debris up next to the wall, and when you slip in that wall just feels like it sucks you in.
It does. But one of the great things I will say that really helps these NASCAR Xfinity Series drivers, and I talked about it a little bit at the start of the broadcast, is this composite body. It's very, very forgiving. It'll let you hit the wall as long as you don't hit the tires too hard, Michael. The car won't lose any performance. Where in the NASCAR Cup Series, if you brush the wall with those cars, you'll lose 2 or 3 tenths. These Xfinity Series cars are very durable, and that helps these rookie drivers out a lot as they're trying to feel that wall and learn how to run really close to it where all that speed is.
You know who it helps as much as anybody? Tyler Reddick, because he bounces off of it all the time and just keeps on hauling.
Remember when he won the championship down at Miami? I'm watching at home like, come on, man, get off the wall. He said, no, thank you, not till I get the checkered flag. He's a second behind race leader Kyle Busch. We're halfway through stage 1 in Fontana. The cute factor is about ready to go through the roof on FS1. Brad Keselowski in the booth with us, and this is you and your brother Brian, huh?
It is, yeah, my brother Brian, and we've had a lot of fun growing up as a racing family. And so yeah, my brother here is up in the pits doing his thing. He's on his cell phone right now. He's probably watching the broadcast on the app here. So
there's Chad Fincham. He's crew chief in the 42.
Is the car's crew chief of the day, yes, sir. So he's had a lot of fun and doing his best to be a part of this sport in every way possible.
It's a nice job too by Chad Fincham and that team. They're running inside the top 20, and baby steps is what you're looking to make, and this is a nice step for them.
Absolutely.
Let's bring this whole thing full circle. Get a report on the 42 from Jamie Little.
Yeah, it's pretty neat, Brad. I remember covering both you and your brother in the races. Your brother, of course, has been racing in NASCAR for quite some time, but now he's out of the car and he's crew chiefing and doing a nice job. You see his driver in the 42 on the right, Chad Fincham, running 18th now, and that's a pickup. They've been finding their way. Each track has been a building block for them, so a good day so far, and it's neat to bring the brothers together, Brad.
Absolutely, and you know, this team is not one of the higher budget teams, so yeah, he's one of the biggest movers on the restart. That's a great accomplishment as a driver that's kind of learning with a new team.
And that's what Brian's doing there, is probably looking at lap times, lap tracker, just seeing how they stack up against the competition. You can tell he's very intense when he finally does talk to Chad on the radio, gathering all the information he possibly
Absolutely.
can.
So they have you know, apps that do lap timing and scoring, as well as, of course, our Fox apps to watch the race. And sometimes with the lower budget teams, they don't have all the fancy satellites and all the Wi-Fi connections and all that, so they'll just use the phone to do that.
Big key for them right now, stay on the lead lap to the end of stage 1. It's 12 laps away, and it's not going to be easy because Kyle Busch has got a fast race car. He's already lapped up to 21st. He's closing in on Josh Williams and others. Meanwhile, good battle here. You got Jeremy Clements, Justin Haley. That's for 14th. The rookie out of Indiana starting to adapt in the 11 for Colleague Racing. And just in front of them, the 39 of Ryan Sieg, 98 of Chase Briscoe, and that's the 8 of Ryan Preece, the bright yellow car.
Shells and cheese on the side of that car, and that's the brightest yellow car I've ever seen, Regan. What are the drivers down in the race thinking about all this wind? Is it still whipping on you down there?
Well, Michael, the wind's calmed a little bit down here on pit road, but something that is missing on pit road because of that wind is the signs that typically guide the drivers to their pit stalls. That's something we need to look out for here in about 10 laps. When these drivers find their way to the pit road for the first time, it may be a little more difficult to spot the signs for some of the teams that opted not to put them up because of the wind.
And Brad, how difficult is it getting on and off of this pit road? It seems like you can really hammer it to the pit road speeding line, which could cause you to speed when you hit pit road.
Yeah, you know, that's a great observation, Regan and Michael. when the winds get really fierce like this, you have to take these signs down, especially if you don't have a really sturdy one. It'll actually fall down on the team sometimes in the middle of the pit stop, so you don't want that to happen. But, you know, for me, it's not a big deal because I always go off the sign that the crew members wave, not the top sign. But each driver has their own technique, so someone who doesn't use that might have some problems here when we start pit stops here in roughly 10 laps when the stage ends.
Michael Annett making up some ground from outside the top 12 to inside the top 10. He's ninth. Kyle Busch leading, 10 laps to go, opening stage in Fontana, California.
The Red Sox are 1 out away. And the Dodgers are down to their final strike. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. Red Sox win the World Series. And the best team in baseball wins it all.
NASCAR fans, are you ready to take your Wi-Fi to the next level? Then you need Xfinity XFi, a more powerful way to stay connected. It gives you super fast speeds for all your devices, Wi-Fi coverage that leaves no room behind, and lets you control your network with the XFi app. It's the ultimate Wi-Fi experience. Xfinity, official partner of NASCAR.
40 drivers, 3 months of anticipation.
Everybody's in brand new fire suits. Everybody's in brand new paint schemes. Pit crews getting back into race mode. The race shop, we're building new cars.
Racing drivers!
And we got to live with each other for 36 weekends.
Get out of my behind!
People are going to get pissed off. There's a lot of crazy maneuvers that guys will do.
Look at that 9 car!
We live for those intense situations. Second place is just the first loser.
Look at all these KFC white meat $5 fill-ups. This here breast, 100% white meat. Crispy Colonel sandwich, 100% white meat. Tenders, 100% white meat. This whole commercial, 100% white meat. Get a $5 fill-up with 100% white meat at KFC.
Beautiful scene and a terrific tribute. Things change. A driver. A team. A track. Even a season. But the racing never changes.
Big crash, turn 3.
And the rocket. Checkers will wave for Brett Moffitt. NASCAR Gander Outdoors Truck Series.
29 laps complete in our opening stage for the NASCAR Xfinity Series here at Auto Club Speedway. And 19 of those 29 laps have been led by Kyle Busch. He's in front of Tyler Reddick, Cole Custer, Justin Allgaier, Noah Gragson, the top 5. And just outside the top 10, I give to you the 22 and 23. It's Cindric and Nemechek. We had some contact here.
Well, hello, sir. He tried to use a side draft, and wow, just didn't quite have him cleared when he moved up.
I think he might have mistimed it a little bit.
What are you hearing down there, Regan?
Adam, I had a chance to talk to Austin right before he climbed into that race car. I said, how excited are you? This is the car that won last year. He felt like they were going to have a good long-run car, but he had a little bit of uncertainty because their long run got cut short yesterday. He only got 5 laps in when he was trying to make a 20-lap run. So we're at that stage of the run right now where that uncertainty is kind of playing out for him. He's been maintaining where he started this race.
But with 4 laps to go, you've got Brandon Jones, Chase Briscoe right in front of him. If he gets around those 2 cars, he could get to 10th, score a point here in our opening stage. He won stage 1 last week in Phoenix. Meanwhile, there's the 20 of Christopher Bell, 6th right now.
I think I might have been faster after I crashed last year than this. Yeah, man. We'll be all right. We'll work on it. We just missed it, you know? Just too tight.
We're going to have to get our stat guys to check on that, maybe look at some lap times and see if that is indeed the case, or maybe perhaps Christopher's being a bit facetious. These cars can really frustrate you, can't they, Brad, when you're out there just giving it all you got?
Especially when the tires are falling off, because you have no frame of reference for where you should be or how fast you should be running. That can be really difficult.
I like what I'm seeing here from Kyle. He's not using the wall. He's just a lane off of. If he got a big lead like he has, there's no reason to do that.
I like what I'm seeing out of Annett. I mean, how great has he been on the long run? He started 16th and just went around Bell for 6th.
Yeah, he's a guy that after practice yesterday, I liked the speed I saw in his car. I felt like they were going to be able to move forward from their starting position. They've certainly been able to do it.
It's been incredible early, Jamie.
Well, they struggled a little bit in practice, and Michael told me, he said, we were so much on the splitter, so he said, it is so bumpy here that I came in and the team said, you're not on the splitter, it's just that rough. He said, I had to wrap my mind around it, be okay with it, and their adjustments combined made that car free up, and it has come to life. Definitely the best it's been all weekend.
And Jamie, you can really see it down in turns 3 and 4. He's one of the few guys that just takes that bottom line and uses it whether he has any traffic or not. That's the sign of a free race car, being able to get that run off the turn like he's getting.
The other good sign for them, gets better and better as the run goes, and that will really pay big dividends in that final stage when we've got roughly 80 laps after we complete stage number 2.
You're absolutely right. These first 2 stages are a little bit shorter. You don't get the full tire wear, the full tire run. And this first stage, like we talked about earlier in the broadcast, was on older tires, which makes a big difference at Auto Club Speedway with all the tire wear.
Final lap, stage 1. Kyle Busch has won the last 2 races in the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
You can hear him pedaling it there off the corner, whether you're leading or running in the 20th is still a job around this racetrack. And guys, let's just make a note of Cole Custer. You talk about the long run and how these cars are going to fall off. He, over the last 3 or 4 laps, has been faster than Kyle Busch. He didn't take off well, but now that car's really running well, and his speeds are on point. So we have to see if he's able to take the next stage away from Kyle Busch.
Mentioned his victories the last 2 weeks. He didn't win a stage in those 2 events. He's got stage number 1 today. Second place goes to Tyler Reddick, Cole Custer, Justin Allgaier complete the top 5. And we mentioned the battle for stage points. Look at Austin Cindric with his late rally going to come back and finish inside the top 10.
I like what I saw there, man. He was all the way off the racetrack to grab that position away from Ryan Preece.
He ends up 7th behind Michael Annett, who was 6th. The rest of the top 10 at the end of our first stage. Ryan Preece, Christopher Bell, and Ryan Sieg. The cars will be on pit road when we return to California. A combined record of 63-0.
Wow.
Kyle Busch wins stage 1 here in Fontana. He's not 63-0 here, but he's pretty good when it comes to the Xfinity Series at Auto Club Speedway. Let's go on this date, March 16th, 1892. First public basketball game in Springfield, Mass. The old peach baskets were out for that one. 1958. Had the Mustang making headlines. Twisted Sister sells out at the Palladium. Was the call when Ricky Craven got that dramatic win over Kurt Busch, Darlington, March 16, 2003.
What a wonderful finish. What a great day for NASCAR. They're just banging all the way to the start-finish line at Darlington.
Kyle Busch led 25 of the 35 laps in stage 1. Now he's got to get it done on pit road. They're heading your way, Regan.
Well, as they head down pit road, Justin Allgaier's spotter, Eddie DeHaan, is going to talk him all the way to his box when he hears he's 5 away. That's his cue to turn in. We heard his radio earlier on in the race. That race car is still too loose when he's free rolling through the corners. He needs to be a little bit tighter with side bite as well for the exit of the corners. That's where he's going to have the right rear dig in. The 00 on the upper right hand of your screen, Cole Custer. He's too tight in the center and loose off, but he did pick up some speed the last couple of laps, and he wants to tear off on that race car. Also important here at California. Jamie?
Tyler Reddick in the 2. So happy to get rid of these old tires. Won some fresh grip. It was just a little bit loose. Overall, pretty good. Kyle Busch is thirsty. He wants a Gatorade. Air pressure adjustment to help him out. Said the rear end was just wanting to step out on him a bit. And it looks like Kyle Busch, yes, will remain the leader.
Yeah, Jamie, you hesitated, and rightfully so, because it was a close battle off of pit road But it is the 18 group that holds serve. Tyler Reddick comes off second. Good opening stage for the man that started on the pole, Michael.
Yeah, let's see if we can get a word with Tyler Reddick about that first stage. Hey, Tyler Reddick, it's Michael Waltrip, Brad, and the boys up in the Fox booth. Do you copy?
Hey, guys. I got a copy.
Well, a thrilling day yesterday for you, and a great start to this race this afternoon. You've got the measure of Kyle. You know what he's doing different than you. Did you get an adjustment there that can help you keep up with him?
Yeah, hopefully we made the right adjustment here. Honestly, just an adjustment for right now to try and keep the right side of it on it. It's just a little treacherous up by the wall for me right now, but hopefully this adjustment will make us a little bit better there up there, and you know, make us go a little bit faster too. See if we can't see right where the 18 is.
All right, good luck, buddy. We're going to be watching.
Thank you.
The reigning champ trying to chase down the all-time wins leader, and because tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day, here's a little Reddick fun. Is this mean?
It's perfect, actually.
Let's celebrate.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
Time now for our Midas Driving Trust. Today it's all about crew chief #1 Travis Mack. Grew up in Kentucky, kind of like you, Michael, and was the car chief for Jeff Gordon. Experienced a lot of success there. Did the same for Dale Earnhardt Jr. when he was driving that 88 at Hendrick Motorsports. He's a family man, made the move to Junior Motorsports, and he and Michael Annett have been magic after winning at Daytona, Jamie.
And what a year they've kicked off here. It's like looking at a different race team and a different driver. Travis, how have you been able to make such a positive impact on this team?
I really don't know. I just came in with my presence, and these guys have made me better as well. We've really hit it off, our friendships, and me and Michael really hit it off well. So far, it's been a great year. We've had a good start to the race so far, this Pilot Flying car. I'm really excited. I think we're showing a lot of improvement, and we're going to be a contender in the chase or the playoffs for sure.
Congratulations. Right now is a good stop, guys. They're going to restart fifth.
Yeah, great work on pit road. Thank you, Jamie. That's today's Driving Trust, sponsored by Midas. We said he's a family man. This crew chiefing thing, no big deal for him. He delivered his own daughter in an emergency situation. He's a great guy.
Let's be honest, Mom did most of the work. But I think Travis Mack is a hidden gem in this NASCAR Xfinity Series as a crew chief. He's going places, but let's see what we have on this restart here.
He's not hidden anymore. What he's done with this one team for Michael Annett is put him on the map here in the Xfinity Series.
You're right.
Kyle Busch takes the outside lane.
Working away up to him now. 9 outside of A. 39's one back. 19's pushing. He's not leaving your bumper. Still on your bumper pushing. You're in the 22 now. You got no help yet. Cover back to you here. 3/4 back, half back.
Noah Gragson +2 on that cycle of stops. He's hanging on in third. Company from his teammate. Bell improving his race car. And Ryan Preece riding the high line off of turn 4.
Oh, I hope they're able to merge. That was tight off turn 4. You can see Michael Annett starting in the 5th position down on the bottom. That's not the preferred line, Brad. You'd rather be on the high side, wouldn't you?
Well, entering the corner, you want to be on the bottom, but when I come off that corner, I need to get all the way to the wall. And if there's somebody outside me, they better give me a little bit of room.
Looked like the locals trying to get from the 10 to the 15 here in California, huh?
A little bit of California traffic. But Tyler Reddick, we've seen him with tremendous short run speed. I'm curious if he can pass Kyle Busch back on this restart like he did at the start of the race.
Cole Custer had one of his tire changers slip on that cycle of stops, went back to 10th, but he is driving back to the front, got around Christopher Bell for the 5th position.
A little brush on the wall.
Michael Annett still stuck down on the bottom.
98.
Got a little bit of a push from the 98 there.
So a little
Briscoe.
Poof of smoke out of the 8 there. I think he might have brushed the wall off of turn 4 here. Let's take a look.
Got to tell you, I think that's a good-looking ride. Hope he doesn't scratch it up too bad.
At Darlington, you get the Darlington stripe. Here in California, you get the blue streak on the right side of your car, huh?
You could see, Brad, how he just barely caught that right rear, and it slammed the front over into that outside wall, and he scraped it pretty good.
Yeah, pulls the whole car back around, just like you were saying. It's great camera work. You can really see how close you have to be to these walls here at Auto Club Speedway to make the car go fast, but when you get too close, obviously you make contact.
Annette's fallen back to 11th. Preece is 12th, right in front of Jeremy Clements. Here's the top two. Kyle Busch, half a second in front of Tyler Reddick. How much of the second stage is a little bit about trial and error, moving your car around to see where it works so you can set yourself up for success in the final stage? Good battle, top 10 here. Brandon Jones, Austin Cindric.
But I think, Adam, this is the first chance you have to work on your car and learn something and try to apply it. So it's a really critical stage for you to be better for the third stage, which of course is going to determine the race winner.
We were listening to Justin Allgaier in that 7 car earlier, talking about just half, 3/4 throttle off the exit of turn 2, very loose. He's an experienced driver. He knows how to communicate to his team what he needs for adjustments in order to be able to improve his car. He drives up to third. I think that car's better. And another car that's really good, we talked about him at the end of stage 1, is the 00 of Cole Custer here. Had a really strong long-run car in that first stage, but now, Adam, after falling back to 10th there after that pit stop, all the way up inside the top 5.
He's got 2 career wins, one of those coming at the Homestead Miami Speedway, another intermediate that's got a worn-out racing surface. And the other thing that Cole's got going for him, as crew chief, is Mike Shiplett, who won this race a couple of years ago with another California driver named Kyle Larson. Now, Bell is 6th. Have they made any progress? Because he was not happy at the end of stage 1, Jamie.
Well, the good thing is they did make some changes on the car. The bad news, though, Adam, something's developing here with Christopher Bell. As you noted, he's fallen back. His throttle is sticking. They want to keep an eye on it, but they said next caution, we have to come in and work on it. They were talking about swapping out his spring. So a serious situation for the 20 that they're definitely backpedaling just a little bit.
That's not something we hear a lot these days in NASCAR.
And it's frustrating, right, Brad? He doesn't have the car handling the way he wants, and now he's got an issue with the throttle pedal. That just adds to the anxiety.
Absolutely. That can make for a long, frustrating day. Thankfully, on the Club Speedway, these cars carry a lot of throttle time. So, if it's a short track, you get a little bit more nervous. But here we go to break, and we'll talk about it a little bit later.
Kyle Busch, the race leader. We're live at Auto Club Speedway.
Kyle is obviously a fantastic driver in a great race car and has done an incredible feat to get to 199, to be going for 200.
Fortunately, I got to drive for him, so he's been my boss for a little bit, and now he's turned my teammate.
Obviously, he's just a tremendous race car driver. He's not only really good on the racetrack, but he's good outside of the race car.
I can tell you there'd be nothing greater that I would want than to make Kyle Busch wait till Sunday to win that 200th race.
I love that kid's attitude. And right now, he's the only one that's showing many signs of being able to knock Kyle Busch off today.
He's definitely in it to win it. And I raced with Tyler a little bit with my own truck team, and he has a lot of hunger and desire.
You see the numbers here. Kyle Busch, one of the best all-time, and their pursuit of 200 getting closer, Jamie.
A lot of impressive numbers when it comes to Kyle Busch. But one that really has stood out to me is the number of different crew chiefs he's won with in the Xfinity Series. 15. The next closest was Matt Kenseth. He won with 11 different crew chiefs. And Adam, something that Kyle Busch told me in our sit-down interview yesterday, you'll see more tomorrow. He said he's at 94 wins in this series now. When he hits 100, he's willing and ready to walk away. However, he did tell his boss man, Coach Gibbs, if he ever needs him to fill in, he will come off the bench and compete.
So he wants 100 wins in the Xfinity Series, and there you see his crew chief, Ben Bayshore, who he's undefeated with. They're 2-0 this season. He told Mike Joy, Darrell Waltrip, Jeff Gordon post-race at Phoenix after getting the Cup victory, he would like to get to 100 Cup wins as well. He certainly is motivated by the numbers.
I'm going to enjoy the ride, just watching him make history with every win that he collects going forward, and just a joy to watch talent, and he certainly has a lot of that.
Okay, let's drop back a little bit and look at some other drivers in the field, and it's not been an easy day for the guys 16th and 17th, Haley and Nemechek, Regan.
Yeah, both these guys having some struggles, as you mentioned, Adam. The first car, the 11 of Justin Haley, he just came down pit road early on that last sequence of caution flags because his seat belts came undone with 2 laps to go. That's not something you hear of very often. They got him on pit road as quick as they could to get those redone. Something that me personally, I've never had happen as a driver. The 23 of John Hunter Nemechek, he just had to make an unscheduled pit stop about 3 laps ago. It was a loose left rear tire on that race car.
Wow, so a lot of guys having problems here today. We've chronicled the issues for Christopher Bell. And, you know, I just noticed, looking at the lap tracker, Kyle Busch is leading, right? And he's got a nice advantage. It's a second over second place Tyler Reddick. But the lap times for the 2 are really good. Kind of like this guy, Brandon Jones. He restarted 14th. Stage 1 wasn't great for him. He's worked his way to 6th. Impressive afternoon for the driver out of Atlanta.
I've just seen a lot of impressive stories. Adam, we talked about Michael Annett driving the top 5. He's fallen back to the 11th position, but a couple of guys that are really having some great lap times right now. The 7 of Allgaier and Reddick. Both of them the last couple of laps have been faster than Kyle, so this thing's far from over.
14 laps to go. Second stage here at Auto Club. Kyle Busch, your leader. Tyler Reddick is second. Then it's Allgaier, Custer, and Bell. Great to have you with us on a gorgeous Saturday afternoon in Southern California. 10 laps to go in our second stage here at Auto Club Speedway. This racetrack is always busy. Look at Austin Cindric and then the 39 of Ryan Sieg. This is awesome.
We haven't had a crash, but it isn't because we haven't been trying. Look at this 3rd place runner, Justin Allgaier, scraping along the outside wall.
Blue streak for the 7. And now we get our Ford Performance track facts. Joey Logano won here last year in a Ford. First time the Blue Oval had been to victory lane at this track in 15 races. How about Scott Riggs? Got Ford their first win here as a rookie in 2002. The last series regular to get it done at this place. And this is, in fact, the oldest asphalt surface on the Xfinity Series schedule. Those your Ford Performance track facts.
I would not have known that last one. That's a good Ford fact. I guess what would be the oldest in the Cup Series? Maybe Sonoma?
It's here as well.
It is here as well? Wow.
Kyle Busch has led all but 10 laps today, 9 to go in our second stage, and here comes Tyler Reddick. And speaking of making it happen, a dash to pit road unscheduled for Noah Gragson. Jamie, what's up?
Bad break for Noah Gragson. First time here, been running top 10, a right front going down.
You hate that. Such a good pit stop to end stage 1, had track position. First trip here.
What about the letters were off the right side tires when he pitted there, Michael? Maybe it brushed the wall causing that? It's hard to speculate, but you know, you'd have to think that maybe that was a factor before or after.
What about this battle for the lead, Adam? I think Tyler Reddick has really upped his ante on running next to that outside wall and picked up speed doing so, but it's a risky move. And here comes Christopher Bell inside the top 5 after a very disappointing stage 1.
Got a good race for the lead. Nice little battle here for 5th among teammates. You mentioned Bell. I'll go the route of the 19 of Brandon Jones. New crew chief this year is Jeff Mindering. Weren't where they wanted to be yesterday. Didn't qualify great. Opening stage was maybe a little below par, but they have fixed this thing up. What are we learning right now with 7 to go, Brad?
Well, I see Brandon running a little bit lower in the corner, and I think he's learning some things of where to put his car on the racetrack to be able to get these runs to make the pass. And here he goes. He's going to clear Christopher Bell. And I see also a lot of guys starting to move back down to the bottom of the racetrack. So maybe the high lane's starting to lose a little bit of speed.
And I would ask you that, Brad. Do you see that at times when everybody runs around the top, it loses grip because of all the rubber that goes down, and they might start wandering around the racetrack?
Absolutely, Michael. These tracks are so dynamic, and you know, they heat up. You can't see it, but when the cars run on the racetrack, they make it hotter. They're going really fast. That's why the tires get hot, right? And so that can make the asphalt really slick, really hot, and lose grip. So sometimes you're just chasing around clean and clear asphalt.
What about our man Brandon Brown? 13th position. again, overachieving. And you know, Adam, he was really optimistic talking to him yesterday about how this small team, family-owned team, would perform because he did so well at Atlanta. And this track surface is wore out as well, slipping and sliding. And Brandon Brown is as good at holding on to a slipping and sliding race car as any veteran we've ever seen.
He's the 86 is 13th, and rather he's 13th. 14th right now is the 08 of Greg Gaulding. They're the last two cars on the lead lap, and that's significant to point out because next in line, Noah Gragson, first car 1 lap down. Despite the unscheduled pit stop, they could get the free pass here in 5 laps.
Noah is rooting very hard for Greg Gaulding to stay in front of the leader. He really needs a break here.
And there's Gragson after that flat tire came to pit road. He's a lap down and in that position, like you said, Brad, to get that free pass.
Now, Tyler has done a good job of keeping Kyle honest here. I think we saw at the end of the last stage, he was 3 or 4 seconds back. Here he's held a pretty steady 8, 9/10 gap. So certainly a lot closer battle here than what we saw in the first stage.
It's got to be a bit disappointing, don't you think, Adam, for Michael Annett? He charged up inside the top 5 from his 16th starting position, but in this stage, he just hasn't been able to keep pace. He's now battling for the 9th spot with Chase Briscoe, but just not a good stage here.
His best laps of the day were the last 10, 12 laps of the first stage, and really what we've seen here in the last 5, 6 laps of stage 2, because they went from 5th on the restart to begin this second stance of the race, all the way back to 12th, 13th, and now he finds himself 9th in front of Chase Briscoe. Those will be the last 2 cars scoring points in our second stage. There's Ryan Preece in the 8th, 7th. That's where he finished in his only other start this year. Xfinity cars off next weekend. Then we go to Texas, and Jeb Burton will be driving the 8 for Dale Jr.
You gonna make it all the way down?
Out of fuel and getting a push. What's going on here? This is interesting.
Yeah, Joey Gase with an issue.
Get a little help from a friend here.
John Jackson, a shove to Joey Gase. Pit road is now closed. 2 laps to go on the stage. Don't get a caution there. And Busch starting to pull away again. The advantage had gotten down to about a half a second for driver 18 over Reddick, but back up over a second now. Allgaier, Custer Jones, the rest of the top 5.
Kyle Busch, such a professional, Brad, but you don't think there's any way leading this race and having the days having him. He's thinking about number 200.
Oh, he's thinking about it. You're darn right he's thinking about it. And he's got a great shot at it. He's got one of the best cars in the field, if not the best car in the field today. And a lot of experience to lean back on this racetrack. This is his race. We'll see if it comes together for him. Still a long ways to go, 80-some laps. And as we've seen, these things can fall apart pretty easily, and they don't have to be your fault when they do so. But he's in great position right now.
You see there below the scoring pylon, he's got 6 wins here. That's the most all time. And when he comes back to the start-finish line to get the green and white checkered flag to end our second stage, he will have led 860 laps here.
Just keep in mind, Justin Allgaier and Cole Custer still have very fast cars. They might just be that adjustment away from winning the race.
Kyle Busch sweeps the first 2 stages at Auto Club Speedway. Second place going to go to Tyler Reddick. Allgaier, Custer Jones, your top 5. Other drivers scoring points: Bell, Preece, Cindric, Annett, and Briscoe. Back to California in a moment.
Well, so you're a California guy. What is the absolute first thing you have to do when you get back to California? And you can't say go to In-N-Out.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I mean, you got to go to In-N-Out. But the thing is about California is you have everything. I mean, you have the deserts, you have the mountains, and you can go to the beach. So you pretty much have anything. You can go anywhere in California.
I heard a rumor that you maybe were in track and field as a kid. What did you do in track and field?
I pole vaulted.
What's the proper form to pole vault? Show me that.
I mean, it's been a few years, but I mean, you kind of got to start like this, and you start running,
like this?
and at the very end, you put it into the box.
And you just fly through the air at that point.
Yeah, I mean, you hope for the best. I mean, there was a few times I went straight up, and then I came straight back down. Not the safest thing for sure.
Last question. Dodgers or Angels?
Dodgers, for sure. I'm closer. I grew up closer to the Angels, but my dad's family was always Dodger fans.
Awesome, Cole. Thanks for walking and talking with us, bud.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Those pieces with Regan are always educational. And I would have lost a bet 100 times if you had said to me that Cole Custer was a pole vaulter. Who knew?
He was also a good football player, played a lot of football.
You know, his track skills and his football skills, his wrestling skills, all on display a couple of years ago in Canada when he hurdled the wall, sprinted toward John Hunter Nemechek, made the tackle, and then put him a little wrestling move on it.
I have to imagine he probably thinks his racing skills as a driver are better, though, and I would agree.
So far today, it's been pretty good. He's fourth, and that's after they restarted Stage 2 in the 10th position because they had an issue on pit road. And speaking of the pits, they're back down. Second stops of the day, Regan.
As they head down the pit road, Justin Allgaier, we see the right side of that race car with some damage. He pulled low on the racetrack, so his spotter, Eddie DeHaan, could make sure that that was not rubbing. They don't have concerns. They're going to give that just a little bit of pull. Otherwise, they hurt the center of that race car, or hurt the center for that race car trying to fix the exit. He's too tight in the center right now. Cole Custer, his race car on the left-hand side of the screen, he was good at the end of the run. They got to fire off just a little bit better. He ends up 2-free when it's all done. Jamie?
Tyler Reddick got a little tight when he's behind Kyle Busch. He wasn't sure which way to go with adjustments, but it looks like it'll be air pressure and track bar. The 18, Kyle Busch, pretty happy with a little too tight off the exit of 4. Air pressure adjustment only and 4 tires for the 18.
And once again, they hold serve coming off pit road with the top spot. Great stop for Christopher Bell. The 20 team goes +4. Then it's Reddick, Allgaier, and Custer. And a reminder, Gragson did hang on. Noah had that unscheduled stop. He's 15th. First car 1 lap down. He gets the free pass here. Let's hear from Kyle Busch, who's dominated the race today.
Hello, Kyle. It's Michael Waltrip and the boys up in the Fox booth. Do you copy, friend?
Sorry.
Some maybe stepped over.
About 5 back to us.
A little traffic there.
I think that lucky dog is maybe coming around here. Spotter's trying to tell him.
Hey, Kyle, it's Michael Waltrip and the boys in the Fox booth. You copy?
Yes, sir. What's up?
Oh, man, we're watching another dominating performance. Any adjustments on that last stop, and how do you feel about closing this baby out?
Yeah, we've been working on it all day. Just slight changes here or there. Just trying to fix entry, trying to fix exits, trying to get it to where she's really good. And knowing that if we got to get back in traffic a little bit, we can make her racy and battle these guys out. So feel like the IK9 Super is pretty fast, and I like my view.
It is a good view, and there's a big victory ahead if you can pull it off. So good luck, buddy.
Right on. Thanks.
So Kyle Busch has been unbelievable here today, and as Michael sarcastically alluded to, he's going after that 200th career NASCAR win, and he really couldn't pick much of a better place to do it. So good when it comes to this place. 6 victories and over 800 career laps led. That's impressive.
My goal going into a restart is to try and always be the aggressor. If you're on offense, it's a lot easier to go forward than trying to be on defense.
If you fan out too wide or split someone 3 wide, it really stalls out your rail.
You're looking right, you're looking left in the mirror, you're trying to gauge everywhere everyone's going so you don't get put in that position.
In the moment, you got to pick that lane that you think your car will best be suited for and hope that it works out.
I'm kind of rooting for a big restart late here with all the money on the line. Pit stops just a moment ago. Won by Christopher Bell in the 20 team as we look at our Xfinity fastest stops. He was second off the pit lane behind Kyle Busch, but 12.8, an unbelievable number. That's the good news. Bad news is they had to come back down and make some repairs. What's the latest, Jamie?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, his throttle was sticking, so they had to get it fixed. So he came back down. The team went under the hood. What they did was put a stiffer spring and change the bracket out. Well, Christopher just came on. You see the work being done here very quick. But Christopher, bad news is he just came back on and said, do you have anything stiffer? Because this thing is not any worse, but it's not any better either. So basically what he's having to do right now when he pushes down on the throttle, he has to pull that pedal back so it doesn't stick.
He's being scored 15th right now. Last car on the lead lap. We mentioned Noah Gragson, who had to make the unscheduled pit stop right there at the end of stage 2, got the free pass. He has gotten his service and will restart in the 14th position. Kyle Busch leading today. He got the sweep last weekend in Phoenix, and if he holds on here this afternoon, he'll try and go back-to-back in getting out the broom. Tomorrow, our coverage from California starts on FS1 with race day, 2 Eastern time. Then it's over to Fox at 3, green flag. Shortly after 3:30 as NASCAR's Top Shelf wraps up the West Coast swing.
Adam, you're talking about wild restarts. Brad, I can't wait to watch you guys tomorrow. It's going to be as crazy as we've ever seen.
You guys been listening to the 2 at all? When he got closer and then fell back, what happened? He said when he got close to you, he just got tight, and then he fell back.
It's no mistake that he's going after his 200th victory. He's a student of the game and always trying to get better, isn't he? Busch again takes the outside lane for the restart. Inside of him is Reddick, row 2. Allgaier and Custer were underway in the final stage.
A little bit better restart for Tyler Reddick this time. He's got a little help from Justin Allgaier.
And we saw Busch take the lead on the initial start down on that bottom, so it's certainly doable.
Look at him fan out as we talk about restarts. 4 different racing grooves being used all the way at the bottom. That's Brandon Jones.
Look at this dive. Cole Custer to the bottom of the racetrack in that 00 car.
And you see those plumes of smoke. That's where the splitter's dragging down the backstretch where it's really bumpy. Look
at him all the way on the apron. I love that.
The sense of urgency is up. Brandon Jones shooting the middle in the 19. That's Allgaier hugging the wall. Reddick thought about it there.
Look all the way down on the bottom. A good restart this run by Michael Annett. He's in the top 5 as well. And oh, just so close to having the 7 car cleared was Jones, but not quite.
I love what Reddick's doing, not letting the 18 get away.
I really think, Adam, if he can get back by him, he's got a shot to hold him off with that long run speed up against the wall.
71 laps to go. Kyle Busch in charge. Let's crank it up from California.
Just watch your side dressing. Clear. Back. Run in middle. Still clear. Past that. Good job, Barry. You're okay here. Check it out. Barely touched the wall off of 4. I'll let you know when I can see it. Get one good hit, doesn't do anything. It runs near like a 7. It hardly has to 1 and 2. Real nice. Everything looks good here.
Great racing just past halfway for the NASCAR Xfinity Series here at Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California. With Michael Waltrip, Brad Keselowski, I'm Adam Alexander. It has, in fact, been the Kyle Busch Show, going for his 3rd consecutive victory in the Xfinity Series after getting the checkered flag the last couple of weeks. Good racing all around here, Regan, and right now we're looking at Cole Custer rallying to the inside of Justin Allgaier.
Too bad.
Yeah, very good racing between these two. Justin Allgaier not happy with his car since this restart, though. They took air out of the right front tire, a couple tenths of air pressure. Not very much, but it was enough to put that car on the splitter. He's having to hold on until the air comes up so the car will turn through the corners better. Brad, how long will that take in the car for him to finally get that off the splitter.
Well, it depends on how hard he's on it. You know, low air pressures here are really important so that your car doesn't fall off on the long run, Regan. But sometimes you get a little bit too aggressive on that. It lowers the car's ride height. You know, flat tire will make a car run really low, Michael.
Yeah.
And it'll drag for those few laps, but it'll hopefully be better on the long haul.
Talk about action on this racetrack. There's so much going on. And that air right there just almost whipped that 11 car. Wow, Haley does a nice job of hanging on to it. That's a great save.
Really is incredible work to Justin Haley.
Rookie of the Year contender making his first appearance here at the track in Fontana, California. And the action is heating up. Look at Cindric, and there goes Nemechek around. Off the nose of Seguin, hard into the inside wall.
Hold a break. You all right, mate?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Whew. Glad to hear that. He caught the edge of that turn 1 pit wall, and he hit a ton.
That just didn't look very good all the way down the front straightaway. Really, guys had some runs off the corner and making moves, and you can see where it goes wrong.
He's chasing the 22 down to try to get the side draft off him, and I don't think he knows that Sieg's there.
Yeah, Ryan Sieg was in a hole there, and no fault of Ryan Sieg. That's just one of those racing incidents, and man, I'm just so thankful. Every time someone hits a safer barrier and I see that thing give and take away that sudden jolt to the driver, it just makes me smile knowing that that guy's going to be able to walk away. Watch how this wall gives.
And that's a terrible angle to hit at, too.
And look at the tires. All 4 at one point were off the ground for Nemechek as he went sliding across the grass.
Nice job by the rest of the field to not hit him. That can be very challenging, like a pool shot there coming up in front of you.
And you could see, as you said there, Brad, it looked like John Hunter was just trying to get a pull off the 22 car, get that draft, and just possibly didn't know Ryan Sieg was down there.
Watch this hit. Ooh.
Watch that wall give. Just taking away the major first impact. Still a major impact, Adam.
Well, it's hard to watch, and we've seen it. The speeds they're carrying down into turn 1, over 190 miles per hour. You heard Nemechek on the radio say he's okay. He's climbed from the car. Now let's hear from Austin Cindric's radio. He was right there when it happened.
Tell him he's going to be a long left down after we wreck him.
He's wrecking behind you.
What a moron. What a waste of track. Nice job, Josh.
Obviously not happy with being ran down the racetrack a little bit.
The emotions of tight racing at a place like California.
What do you think here on strategy? It's kind of crazy. Maybe pit or not, they've got some tires.
But I'll say this, you know, this is an interesting race. You get more tires here than really you do at any other track that we go to because of the abrasive surface and the fact that it's 300 miles. These teams, unless they've already made an unscheduled pit stop, should have 3 sets remaining in the pits. We got 65 laps to go. I'm guessing you probably will see some guys come down here and get some fresh rubber.
Well, I'm looking at it, and if I'm Kyle Busch and I'm his crew chief, I've got the toughest decision of everyone, because Kyle Busch right now has the car to beat. He's the driver to beat. They're the team to beat. And I got to say to myself that if I'm not in the 18 shoes, if I'm any other of these drivers, Tyler Reddick, Justin Allgaier, whatever Kyle Busch's team does, I'm doing the opposite, because I get a chance to see him make his move first. So it's a very tough position to be in if you're that 18.
And think about Reddick and Allgaier, a couple of guys that were certainly chasing Kyle down during that little short run there. Do they like the adjustments they made, and does that force Kyle Busch to come to pit road because he saw those guys had made some ground on him?
Yeah, and one other thing I'm thinking about is we're not in the fuel window yet. Still 65 laps to go, a good 20 laps roughly outside of the fuel window, so this is a tough decision than you'd think.
Last time they pitted was lap 73. That was at the end of stage 2. So it's been right around 10 green flag laps. The other thing that could factor in here, 15 cars on the lead lap, so we don't have a huge number of cars in that category. And we should also mention no one got the free pass here. That's because Nemechek was the first car 1 lap down at the time of caution, and obviously he was the reason for the yellow. 64 laps to go for the Xfinity Series at Auto Club Speedway. Kyle Busch is leading. He's been out front for 76 of our 86 laps. Won both stages today, but the last time he swept stage 1 and stage 2 here, he did not go on to victory lane. Strategy being played out. Looks like most everybody's coming down pit road, Regan.
Well, the word on Justin Allgaier's radio was to do what the cars in front of you do. If they stay out, stay out. If they pit, you pit. As we see, he's on pit road. All the leaders coming down pit road right now. That splitter is hitting, as we were talking about earlier on. They want to fix that with a little air pressure, and he's having a debate over track bar whether they want it down a little bit more to help his exit. The 00 car on the left side of your screen, Cole Custer, his splitter was also hitting on the last run. It was touching the entire time. He's too loose off right now. Jamie?
Tyler Reddick said it's hard to run the same speed as the 18 in his wake, so let's get out of it. He is motivated to get this car better. The 18 as well came into pit for 4 tires. That'll remain 2 sets of stickers.
That 18 team for Joe Gibbs Racing has been the best on pit road all day long, and they get it done one more time. Reddick comes out second, so again, he's going to be the chaser. And Noah Gragson stayed out. He's on 1 less set of tires. Next Saturday afternoon, it is the Gander Outdoors Truck Series, racing for the 4th time in 2019. It's live from Martinsville, Virginia, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. You can watch it on Fox. Kyle Busch has dominated here. Got an update to his upcoming schedule earlier this weekend. He will compete in that truck race next Saturday. We look forward to that. And I said it going to break, but I want to clean this up. Noah Gragson didn't pit, and I said he's out of balance on tires. If you remember, they had made the unscheduled stop right there prior to the end of our 2nd stage, so they had 1 less set to work with. He's going to be in a tough spot here, choosing the outside lane on this restart and older tires.
And Brad, these folks at home are getting ready to see what the heck new tires are going to do for you.
Oh, yes.
When the 9 goes up against these new tires.
All right, so everybody has got 2 sets laying here. We're probably only 10 or 15 laps away from everybody being able to make it to the end. So next caution will be the one where everyone comes again to make sure they can make it, and then we'll have 1 set left for them.
That's assuming there's another caution, guys. There might not be.
Yeah, the pit window that we heard most of the time in the garage was right around 43 laps or so, and so that would put us about another 10 or 15 laps when we start getting into our window to be able to pit and go the distance. Front row on the restart, Noah Gragson, Kyle Busch. Rest of the top 5, Tyler Reddick, Cole Custer, and Brandon Jones. We'll get this restart with 61 laps to go.
And this should be a very interesting restart. Older tires, Noah Gragson, got Cole Custer behind him. Be careful to not spin him. Tyler Reddick should have a big run on Kyle Busch entering turn 1 here.
Heck of a restart on old tires.
Nice job, and he got a nice push from Custer too, but look, there goes the 9 up the hill, couldn't stick in the corner, and here comes the whole world under him.
Wide here, 3 wide, 3 wide, 3 wide.
Yeah, Noah Gragson's in trouble, and he's going to go to the back, but he knows that. He's trying to recover his tire strategy from the problems he had earlier in the race.
Custer in the outside lane had gotten up to 2nd for a moment, but unable to hang on as Reddick takes the low lane, getting a push from Allgaier. No, there is Custer. He's able to make the outside work and slide into position, and now going for the race lead at the start-finish line.
Telling you, that car's just gotten better and better all day long. Got that track position after a bad pit stop earlier, and he takes the lead.
Whoa, a little loose here through turns 1 and 2, but a really nice move.
Racetrack here. 2.5 back. He's got a low pressure. Nice and smooth.
Now, Brad, when you say the car's loose at the start, is that a good thing? Will that help the car in the longer run?
Well, it can, especially when you look at, some of these tracks, the cars get tighter, but some of them, no. Some of the cars get looser. I think it really depends on your own car's balance.
Cole Custer leading laps here for the first time, but unable to drive away. Kyle Busch right in his hip pocket. Tyler Reddick hanging around as well. Got to give a call to Christopher Bell. Made multiple pit stops under caution a bit ago when we ended stage 2. He's back in the top 5. They got him fixed up.
quick recovery and also really quick pit stops have helped him.
And when you're in traffic, Adam, oh, look at this move. All the way down to the grass in turn 4.
But it's not going to be enough to clear him. Let's see if Cole Custer chases him back down the racetrack.
Busch was in front at the line, but will that momentum for Custer carry him off the corner?
You know, it's so interesting. The shorter way around, you're able to make that ground, but the momentum on the high side is the great equalizer.
Be curious to see if Tyler Reddick uses this opportunity to move up the racetrack.
I love the shout out you guys gave to Christopher Bell. He's right there in that battle for the lead in the 5th position on the bottom. Brad, you know, if your throttle's hanging at all and you're back in traffic, it's even more difficult. Now that he's got that track position, he's probably got that problem put away in his mind.
Here's Busch again to the inside of Custer. Can he make it work this time? The answer is yes. All clear for the 18 who shoots to the outside wall. We'll see if he runs that momentum down the back straightaway.
Really nice move there by Kyle Busch. So what he did is he moved up in turn 3 and 4, got a little bit of the cleaner air on his nose, made a really good run up against the wall to get the momentum and stored all that energy for a late side draft down the end of the front stretch. That's just that's a pro move right there. That's what separates the guys that do this on Sunday and can win 100-some races or 200 total from everyone else, is the ability to make moves like that and to think of them and put them into action half a lap or a lap ahead.
And meanwhile, by the way, your head's bouncing around all over the place. You're trying to make all these plans and thoughts while dealing with so many physical challenges inside the race car. There you could see the head bouncing.
And that's everyone in the field, by the way. The tracks are rough, and you say, well, why don't you take your helmet, and I've had some people ask me this before, why don't you strap it against the headrest or something to keep it from bouncing around like that? Well, if your helmet and your head doesn't bobble, then you can't see. The more rigid your helmet is, the harder it is to just see. So the drivers will actually make their head bobble like that inside the headrest so they can see. Otherwise, it shakes your head so violently, it can really rattle your vision.
55 remaining at Auto Club Speedway. Kyle Busch continues out front. He's got a nice advantage over Custer and Reddick, who are 2nd and 3rd.
Speaking of a good battle, these guys are really mixing it up. Bell was underneath the 7 of Allgaier, and Cindric slipped in there and grabbed a spot inside that top 5.
They are, in fact, going toe-to-toe, Regan.
Well, they are, and this was a little bit by design for the 22 car of Austin Cindric. We documented earlier on the slow start for him in this race, but part of the plan was to let him go out and feel this race car out because of the wind yesterday. They didn't really get to adjust on it to his liking, so they resorted back to last year's setup, which was the winning setup, and crew chief Brian Wilson said he knew it was going to take a little while, but he wanted him to just figure out how to drive the car based on last year's notes instead of trying to adjust through the wind that we had in happy hour yesterday.
This is the 2nd straight week I've heard a race team in the Xfinity Series, not like their car on Friday, go to a setup from 2018 and get it dialed in on a Saturday afternoon. Last week it was Tyler Reddick in the 2. This week it's Austin Cindric, and the reason he got around Bell is Bell's not maybe where he wants it to be. Is there a little bit of a kiss there? It was close on the wall.
Maybe.
Hanging it out.
Yeah, maybe. He's definitely driving her hard. You know, these dirt guys, Christopher Bell, they can run the high lane so well. Tyler Reddick, and they know how to put it right on that edge without jumping over it. So kudos to them.
I like this 22 car. Man, he's come alive. That's a good solid move there to the bottom of the track. He goes to the bottom. Allgaier was able to side draft a bit and slow his momentum.
Well, you know, Austin's only finished outside the top 10 one time this year, and it was Las Vegas when they had a couple of different problems. Whoa, that's the lapper, the 5 of Matt Mills that got in the way, and that's going to help Allgaier and Bell. Just kill the momentum of Cindric there.
Yeah, you definitely would hope when you catch a lap car like that, maybe give you a little bit more room, but that's not the way it played out. He'll have to regroup and make something happen.
What about that, Brad? It's got to be so frustrating for Cindric to make inches up every lap, an inch here, an inch there, and then lose half a straightaway off the turn there with that momentum.
I'll play the other side of that. What if you're Matt Mills and you're not up to pace and you see 3 fast ones coming off the corner? That's got to create some anxiety as well.
And you know, there's been a lot of talk about that at the Cup level as well, about lap cars and how they affect the race. But keep in mind, sometimes the hardest cars to drive are the slower ones. Those guys have their hands full, and they're doing all they can do and trying to make the most of their own race as well.
Let's walk you back through the top 10. We saw Kyle Busch on board here with Cole Custer, and just behind them, Tyler Reddick. What's the latest on driver 2, Jamie?
Well, you know, he started on the pole, and then he just said his car's been basically loose by himself and tight behind the 18 of Kyle Busch. But now he slipped back to 3rd. They made an air pressure adjustment last stop, and now he said he's about a 1 to 2 tight overall. So that's impeding his progress right now. They definitely want to make a change. We'll have another stop coming up.
Yeah, everybody's got to come one more time. In fact, we're closing in on the window where if the caution came out, you can make a pit stop and go the distance. And certainly we know these teams are going to make that one more stop. They should all have 2 sets of tires remaining here.
Do you gamble if you're not Kyle Busch, Brad? Maybe if you're running 2nd, 3rd, Reddick, Custer, Allgaier, and come now as soon as you're in your window and make up ground on the 18 car?
It's possible. You know, that would definitely be a big gamble. That would be hoping that you'd get one more yellow, because even if you short pit a little bit here, you're going to need another yellow to take advantage of it. Now, if you can hop a few cars and then get only one more yellow, yes, it's worth it. But if we get multiple yellows, you could be in a lot of trouble.
So you're saying, perfect scenario, I'm Tyler Reddick. I pit here. I get fresher tires. I make up my shortcomings on the front end of the run, and then when the caution comes out, I make the track position pay off.
Sure, that's if you get a yellow.
Right.
So, you know, it's a big gamble here, but right now, Kyle Busch is driving away, and I don't see where the field has a lot to lose.
I was going to say, he's led 90 laps. At some point, you might need to get out of the box and try to make something happen. There's Michael Annett. He's 10th right now, and he's 10 seconds behind Kyle Busch. 9 Eastern pre-fight coverage comes your way next on FS1. And while we were away, this is what happened with the 2 of Tyler Reddick. Got into the wall a couple of times, eventually had to make an unscheduled pit stop, and we're under caution for the 4th time right now because the 22 of Austin Cindric went for a ride in turn 4.
Couple guys 4th. Yeah, a couple guys running in the top 5, and I think that just speaks to the intensity going up as you get later in the race, Brad. These guys know that Kyle has their number, and they're just pushing as hard as they can go.
Yeah, they're pushing very, very hard, and you could probably arguably say too hard. Obviously, if you're spinning out and hitting the wall, but they want to win too.
Free pass goes to Justin Haley. The rookie is scored in the 15th position. Jamie?
Well, Tyler Reddick, you had mentioned he got the wall. Not once, though. He hit it twice. The first time he was okay. He said, I know, guys, running up here, it's inevitable. And then, boom, he hit it hard enough that it took that tire down. And we talk about the blue stripe on the race cars. There is blue paint all over this wheel and tire. But they got him fixed up. They told him to focus ahead. Let's stay in the game and don't lose these points.
And that caution was almost exactly what he needed. He's actually the 2nd car, 1 lap in arrears is Tyler Reddick. 16th is where he's shown right now.
She should be able to take the wave around. You're right, Adam. Good observation there. And interesting here as well, the 22 car, when he spun, he was able to spin in a way where he didn't flat spot his tires, so he's not going to lose too much time here, and he'll be able to pit and really get back in the cycle.
And another guy that this caution is a break for is Noah Gragson. We talked about him staying out. He's been able to remain inside the top 10. He's now going to be on the same tires as the competition, so good job by that team, the decision making, the strategy, and now it's going to pay off.
Huge pit stops coming here. There's Mike Shiplett, the signal caller for the 00 of Cole Custer. Everyone has 2 sets of tires remaining, so we could see him one more time. The caution will dictate that, because right now they are, in fact, in their window to go the distance. The pit stops will happen with 37 to go, and here's the running order. Kyle Busch, Cole Custer, Justin Allgaier, Brandon Jones, Christopher Bell. The rest of the top 10, Chase Briscoe, Ryan Preece, Michael Annett, Ryan Sieg, and give a call to Jeremy Clements. The 51 has been good all weekend long.
That might be the right thing. 10-4, whatever you think, man. I'm worn out here. I can tell you that. My hands are both blistered. I'm giving you everything I got. 10-4, never doubt that.
I love that, and I love the relationship between Justin Allgaier and his crew chief, Jason Burdett. So pit road was closed there. We know everyone is going to come down. And with the pit lane being closed, let's just remind you of some of the milestone victories for Kyle Busch as he tries to get number 200 today. First win came here in the Xfinity Series, 2004 at Richmond. His 100th career win at New Hampshire in Xfinity competition. Look at that, 50th career Xfinity win happened at Bristol. He took over the all-time wins lead from Mark Martin. 52nd career truck win came earlier this season at Atlanta Motor Speedway when he got that checkered flag. He passed Hall of Famer Ron Hornaday on the all-time wins list.
And now he's poised to try to grab victory number 200 here today. But Adam, I like Cole Custer. I think he's made that car better and better. And I believe he can contend for this win. One more adjustment, maybe that's what Custer needs.
Cole certainly seemed to have that short run restart speed without a doubt. So if we get multiple yellows to finish this race, he's going to be really tough on Kyle. It seems like to me, though, Michael, Kyle's really got these long runs figured out. That team, whether it's low air pressures or whatever it might be, I'm not sure, but his car really at the end of these runs drives away.
Pit road is open, and a big stop coming for all these teams. Execution is paramount, and they're on the pit lane now, Regan.
We just heard the radio of Justin Allgaier. His tongue is hanging out in that race car. He's given him everything that he's got, but they've just danced around the handling field that he needs all day long. They want to tighten the exit up, but they know it's going to hurt the middle. That's what they're going to do on this particular pit stop as he finds his box. The 00 of Cole Custer, who is on the left side of our screen right now. He is still a little bit too free. They're trying to tighten him up so he can run a little bit closer to the wall. I think if he gets closer to the wall, he'll be quick enough to get up there with Kyle Busch. Jamie?
Brandon Jones in the 19 said he needs more fire-off speed and grip. He's a little bit loose, and bad news for the competition. The 18 of Kyle Busch, he's happy with the balance. No changes, a 4-tire stop.
And it looks like they had an issue in the Kyle Busch pit area, and he's going to lose a ton of track position here. Christopher Bell, who has the #1 pit stall after winning the pole last week, goes +4. Watch the 18.
Fairly routine so far. Oh, trouble in that right
Trouble with
rear.
the hang. Oh, the jack's not high enough. So it's dragging the tires. He's trying to hang it. Couldn't get it on the spoke of the hub.
Just when we needed a little drama. Kyle Busch at a late race rally. Christopher Bell will be the leader when we return. Ready for the restart with 34 laps to go at Auto Club Speedway in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and more problems for Kyle Busch. You saw crew chief Ben Mayshore talking to the NASCAR official. In addition to the long stop, uncontrolled tire.
Yeah, you can see the right front behind there. They left it further than an arm's length away from a crew member. And you can see, Brad, when they have trouble in the back, the guys just abandon that front tire.
Yeah, because the guys in the front are supposed to handle this, but they're actually calling it on the second tire, saying he let it go too long. So it could be either one, as far as I can tell, but I think NASCAR's saying it's the second tire was the issue.
Kyle Busch not the only one penalized here. The same for Noah Gragson. He too had an uncontrolled tire, so they'll have to drop to the rear for the restart. Up front, Christopher Bell. I mean, didn't see this coming, right? This guy's had problems all afternoon, but he'll take the outside lane and be on point with Cole Custer to his inside. The rest of the top 5, Briscoe, Allgaier, and Jones. What a wild afternoon we've had.
Well, Kyle has still got a shot at this, but he's going to have to work really hard for it. The long run speed he's had, I wouldn't count him out with 34 laps to go, Adam.
Reminds me of that rally Logano had late last year, Michael.
Yeah, this is totally doable for Kyle Busch, and it's going to be really fun for us as fans to watch.
He'll have 33 laps to get there.
And as all this is happening, there is a huge opportunity right now for someone to break the Cup driver win streak. Cole Custer and Christopher Bell. Let's see what they've got.
Don't write off Justin Allgaier.
Or Ryan Preece. He's up in there challenging strong, too. A lot of players coming to the game.
He wants to keep that Cup streak alive, doesn't he, Michael?
Cole Custer's got a little bit of an opportunity here on Christopher Bell. He's going to pull a side draft. The big run into turn 3 for the lead.
He was great on that last restart.
Clear.
And gets the top spot here. Cole Custer out front. Or is he? Bell with the rally.
Back out there. Clear behind him.
This is some great racing.
Justin Allgaier is going to take a crack at it, too, with a big run off of turn 4 and a dive underneath both of the leaders.
Allgaier, a runner-up here last year. Feels like this place owes him one. He's in the mix with 32 laps remaining. Meanwhile, check the scoreboard. Kyle Busch is 12th.
And you can see him down on the inside in that dark blue car. He's racing with Noah Gragson, who was penalized as well, trying to crack the top 10.
Most difficult thing for Busch is just going to be the strength of those cars at the front of the field. Good news for him, they're racing each other, which opens the door. There's Custer down low to grab the top spot.
And now he's going to clear with a big run and enough distance to not have to play so much defense. He should be able to drive away from here.
What about Chase Briscoe? He joins the party. We've seen him just solidly, steadily in the top 10, but now he's up to 4th, and it looks like he's got a faster car than Allgaier. Makes the move to the bottom.
Not just Briscoe, Stewart-Haas, big picture. 2 of their cars running inside the top 3 as the 98 of Briscoe makes the move.
While all this is happening, Kyle Busch is in an absolute dogfight right now for 10th, 11th, and 12th. 3 wide on the bottom, fighting his former driver in his Truck Series team, Noah Gragson. And he can't quite get the clear he needs to break free of all this.
Is there any way to describe the level of frustration for Kyle Busch, who led 98 laps today and finds himself outside the top 10 with 30 to go?
Look at that bind he's in, too. You see Ryan Siegs up high. Mike Lynette side by side with Gragson. They're 3 wide ahead. No, there's no way to describe the frustration, Adam.
And he just can't get the break he needs in traffic here. He hasn't had any opportunities to really make anything happen. Here he's going to find it right here. They're going to leave the outside open and exposed, and Kyle's going to get a big run off of Ford, try to capitalize.
Top 3.
This might sound crazy, but it almost appears that Kyle has been patient on this restart. I would have thought he would have been in the top 10, top 7 very quickly. He's methodically let things play out in front of him, Michael.
And Brad, that has a lot to do with the tires, right? He can't burn them up just trying to be mad and prove a point. He's got to take care of them to a certain extent. Oh, and that's what you call not taking care of them. You get them hot like that, it's going to make the tires mad. They're not going to stick as well. So you're right, Adam. I think it's just been a march through the field that he's confident that he can get there. He just doesn't want to burn up his tires doing so.
And he's only 3.8 seconds back. The last few stages, he's won by 3 or so seconds. So he has enough time, and he's making good moves. Now he's getting some clearings that he needs. He should be able to jump forward from here.
These two have been great to watch last few laps. Cindric and Allgaier. Both won a season ago. 5 victories for Allgaier, and of course Chase Briscoe got his first and only career win in the Roval event late September at Charlotte Motor Speedway. A guy that used to drive for you in the Gander Outdoors Truck Series, talking about Briscoe, Brad.
Yeah, and he's having a solid run, like you said. And where he's at with this team, just solid top 5s. Of course, he's got a win already, like you said, but that was on a road course. And I know as a team like this, he just wants to have some solid runs and get a base underneath him with a new full-time team.
Kyle Busch update, working over Ryan Preece. That's for 6th. Just behind him, Michael Annett, the red, white, and yellow #1.
What an up-and-down day it's been for Annett. We've seen him inside the top 5. He started back in 16.
All clear right there. 19 in front. Still clear up.
Now he's starting to recover late inside the top 10.
Another lap or so. Kyle Busch will be back in the top 5. Still plenty of time remaining. 27 to go. Custer's leading at California.
One lap. 14.7 seconds. You can't fake fast. The Food City 500, Sunday, April 7th at Bristol Motor Speedway. Get tickets today at bristoltix.com. It's Bristol, baby.
So, how are you enjoying your first NCAA tournament?
Oh, it's just lovely. I'm here to let all these folks know how easy it is to save money on their car insurance with Geico. And, oi, set the pick. Kick it outside. Shoot the 3. Shoot the 3. Yes!
Are you okay?
No, I'm not. I think I've pulled a hammy. Can we get some ice? Just 1 cube of ice.
Geico, proud partner of NCAA March Madness.
Staying at Hampton for a work trip. When your flight gets in late, it's never too early for coffee. Oh, no. Your new boss seems cool, but she might not be sweatpants cool. Who is that ready this early? It's only 7 a.m. Somebody help me. Close call. Not quite ready to face the day? That's why we're here with free hot breakfast and a warm welcome. Book at Hampton.com for our price match guarantee. Hampton by Hilton.
40 drivers, 3 months of anticipation.
Everybody's in brand new fire suits. Everybody's in brand new paint schemes. Pit crews getting back into race mode. In the race shop, we're building new cars.
Racing drivers!
We got to live with each other for 36 weekends.
Get out of there behind them.
People are going to get pissed off.
There's a lot of crazy maneuvers that guys will do.
Look at that 9 car.
We live for those intense situations. Second place is just the first loser.
You know, the best thing about a side-by-side break on FS1, you miss absolutely nothing. Fifth caution of the day is out, 25 laps to go, and here is the reason why.
Brandon Jones was being heated up by Kyle Busch, and he just stepped over the line. And watch this job by Ryan Preece. Can't see where he's going. How's he do that?
Wow. Talk about a close call, Michael.
Noah Gragson. I mean, this guy's had all kinds of things go against him today, and he barely gets through.
I mean, how does he whip it left this quickly? Did we see the same thing at ISM last week from Preece in the Cup race when he was
Yes, yeah. I had a flat tire, and he just barely missed me, yes.
I bet you appreciate his
I do. I appreciate it very much. Thank you, Ryan. And great move there to at least minimize the damage.
I thought you were talking about when Stephen Light blew up in the Xfinity race, and I'm going to say actually that smoke was far worse than what we saw right there. Pit road is open. Custer, Bell, Allgaier, Briscoe, Kyle Busch making stops. Here they come, Regan.
4 tires at the end of this race is going to be what everybody has to have in order to get up there and win this thing. Right now, the 7 car, they couldn't hear Justin on the radio. They had to switch channels during that run so they could find out what the car was doing. He's too tight in the center, but way free off. They keep bouncing around with the handling of that race car. On the right side of your screen, the 00 of Cole Custer. He's too free firing off. He didn't like his race car right there. They're going to adjust on it to try and make it better on the short runs, knowing that Kyle Busch is coming from behind them. Jamie?
Kyle Busch said he wants just a little air pressure to help him turn. The pit crew today is Eric Jones' Cup crew. Meanwhile, on the right-hand side, Christopher Bell has the 18, Kyle Busch's Cup crew. Hitting him, it's a good stop. Air pressure and 4 tires.
This time, Kyle Busch actually picks up a spot, going +1. So does Allgaier. Custer went in the wrong direction as Christopher Bell wins the battle off pit road, but they will not restart on the front row. That opportunity will belong to Michael Annett and Noah Gragson. They stay out here.
I love this call. I absolutely love this call. There's a lot of laps left. If you get another yell, you're going to want new tires, and the rest of the field just used their last set of tires.
And if you're those two, they know they're getting ready to give up this lead. There's no doubt about it. But I like the gamble. Let's do something the leaders don't, make something happen.
This was not a strategy call for track position. This was a strategy call to save tires. And they see the trend of this race. And as you guys said, caution comes out, 10-12 to go. They might just be sitting in the catbird seat. Only 16 cars right now on the lead lap.
I was very surprised a number of these guys pitted accordingly. It does seem very likely, like you said, Adam, we're going to get another yell. And if we do, it's going to really shake this. The last green stretch the last 2 years was 8 laps or less.
And that's a result of intensity picking up, right, Brad? You got to go. That side drafting, how you race into the corner side by side with another guy, all that leads to cautions when these drivers really get to ramping it up.
23 laps to go. When we're done here, it's off to Dallas, the pre-fight show for the big one tonight. The best pound-for-pound fighters on the planet put their perfect records on the line at AT&T Stadium. Spence and Garcia for the World Welterweight Championship. It's tonight, 9 Eastern on pay-per-view. You can order it now. And as we said, when we're done here in California, we're going off to Dallas. Chris Myers and the crew have pre-fight coverage from AT&T Stadium. Who's your money on, Spence or Garcia? They're both undefeated.
I like Mikey. I think Mikey gets it done.
It would be bad if you went against Mikey in this situation, right? So we're looking forward to boxing later on, but a lot of business to take care of here. How's this one going to play out? I mean, a lot to be decided with 20-plus laps to go.
I love the drama. We've seen a little bit of everything. Of course, Kyle Busch dominates early. We expect that. He got behind on a pit stop. This thing is far from over. These are going to be a fun 20 laps to watch.
I'm looking at this restart. You have 2 cars leading the field on old tires. They are not going to go, and they're going to have 4 cars at least behind them with Kyle Busch, who's hungry and looking for number 200. Look out.
Second time you've been with us in the booth this year, Brad. Give us an update on your foundation.
Well, thank you, Adam. You know, we're glad to have the support of Fox, and thanks for letting me talk about my foundation, which is a great foundation, Checker Flag Foundation. You can look it up online on checkerflagfoundation.org. Meant to serve our nation's heroes, first responders, veterans, active duty service members, men and women who've made great sacrifices for the community, and we're so proud to do our part for them.
You know what I'm real proud of is when you get the checkered flag and you put the American flag in your car and celebrate. It's really touching. That's really nice tribute that you do.
Thank you. You know, the American flag means a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but it's certainly very special to me. And the freedoms we get to enjoy, to get to do great things like this, watch an Xfinity Series race here at Auto Club Speedway in California, man, we're very privileged and very lucky.
And an opportunity to do it again tomorrow. You were fastest in final practice across the board. The Penske cars were quick in the final tune-up today. And if you do win, you can celebrate with us this week on NASCAR Race Up. You're going to be in on Wednesday,
yes,
I believe
on
it
Wednesday.
is.
Normally I do Tuesday with Radioactive. I had a little scheduling conflict, so we moved to Wednesday, but we're going to have a lot of fun, and appreciate all those fans out there that tune in.
We got you on Wednesday, and Michael, you and Cole Pern going to be a part of the program on Tuesday, I
believe. Yes, we are, and I love getting Cole's observation and opinions of what he sees on race weekends. He's a very well-spoken crew chief, smart guy, a lot of race wins, obviously, and he adds a lot to the show. Looking forward to being there side by side with you and him.
Going to be 21 laps to go when we go green once again here in Fontana, California. And now we understand they've added a lap, so it's going to be 20 laps remaining. 16 cars are on the lead lap. Kyle Busch has dominated this race, leading 98 circuits, but they had a pit issue a couple of stops ago. He's going to restart 6th, and the big headline is going to be the guys on the front row on older tires. How do the guys behind Michael Annett and Noah Gragson battle what could be a mess here?
Well, what I would do if I was Michael Annett, I would be sure I didn't let anyone to the right side of me.
Yes,
that's his protection. He's going to lose ground, but if he gets stuck in the middle, lets a car to the outside of him, it's going to be magnified. So the best thing he can do, know he's going to lose some spots, but make sure he hugs that wall.
Problem
You're
here
absolutely right.
On this set of stops for Ryan Sieg. They were removing equipment, and so he's going to have to drop to the back. And let's give credit where credit is due. Remember when Tyler Reddick hit the wall, had to make an unscheduled stop? Look where he is, 7th on the restart.
Back in the game. And I think the inside row, depending on how this launch goes, could be the place to be to clear all of those cars that have the older tires.
So Travis Mack, allegedly Michael Annett on the racetrack, and they got nothing to lose. They already have a win this season, Jamie.
That's right, so why not gamble? How you feeling right now, Travis, about your decision to stay out?
It kind of is what it is. With our win in our back pocket, we could take a chance here. We got a set of tires laying. The caution's going to come out with about 10 laps to go, and we'll put them on.
He's got a plan. He knows that caution's coming at him.
That's exactly right. That's what we've been looking to see all day. Somebody take a chance, mix it up.
And these crew chiefs, they study the numbers. They know the probabilities, and who knows, maybe they won't get a yell, but odds are in your favor.
Well, it's a neat call for him and the team car of Noah Gragson. Of course, his crew chief is Dave Ellens. Won this race in 2015 with Kevin Harvick behind the wheel. It's the only victory here for Junior Motorsport.
It's a real chance, though, that Michael Annett needed to take in order to be able to win this race. We've talked about that. But it's also a time for the crew, for the team, the spotter. Everybody coach Michael Annett up right here. Tell him what the go is. If you're Jason Jarrett, his spotter, Travis Mack, crew chief, say, look, we know we're going to get smoked off here for a lap or two. Let's just don't get in trouble. Don't hold anybody up. Get wrecked. And if the caution does fly and we're not it, we're going to be sitting in a really good spot.
Yeah, you're in a bad spot. So if I'm the crew chief or if I'm Michael Annett, what I'm thinking is get past, don't get wrecked. If I want there to be a yellow, I don't want it to be me.
4 rookies in the top 11 for the restart. Collectively, 0 starts at Auto Club Speedway entering the weekend. Front row, Annett and Gragson on those older tires. Behind them, Allgaier and Bell. Row 3 for the restart, Cole Custer and Kyle Busch. Going to be a shootout here to finish it. 20 laps to go in Fontana.
Green.
Michael, and that gets a pretty good launch.
7 straight backside. 7 ahead, light down. Tap a car down. Look at middle. Inside, middle, inside.
3 wide into the corner. Here comes Allgaier. Christopher Bell jump into the inside. He'll grab the race lead.
Go. Stay with the 7 and the 18 here. All right, now hit your marks. Still 3.
And everybody leaves the inside open. That's going to help Kyle move up to third.
But Allgaier with a strong run on the high side. Can he get to Busch? No. Kyle closes the door.
Crossover move for Allgaier, trying to get to the inside of the 18. Meanwhile, Cole Custer looking for the lead, dropping below Bell in 1.
And there you go. Still there. Clear, clear. 1 back. Closing. Clear, clear.
Custer has such great short run speed. He needs to get out front and run away because Kyle Busch is coming.
Half back and further away. 1.5. 2 back.
Chase Briscoe out of line. Racing for 4th with Justin Allgaier. Chopped off by Kyle Busch, who goes to the apron in turn 4.
Trying to fan down to the bottom lane, Cole Custer is, to try to just break that draft just a little bit, Michael. Every little bit counts.
That was Tyler Reddick with a bold move down the front straightaway. Picked off a couple more positions. He's up to 6th. We might not have heard the last of Reddick.
3 wide. Preece and the 11 of Justin Haley along with Austin Cindric.
Those 2 yellow cars just had a moment, and now they're running together again.
Racing for 8th, Brandon Jones, and the 19, 7th right now.
Last time by, Custer 0.3 of a second faster than Kyle Busch. You called it, Brad. When he got that lead, he needed that fresh air. He can drive away now.
Yeah, let's see how long it lasts, because Kyle Busch has a good long run car, but fully expect him to get there by the end of this race.
Have we run enough laps now for the strategy of Annett and Noah Gragson to pay off?
I think so, Michael. If a yellow does come out here, those 2 are in a great spot, but that's a big if right now. Field's starting to spread a little bit, so they're going to need to catch a break.
Think about the day for Ryan Preece. Had the big spin, hanging around in the top 10. Nice afternoon for him in that 18. Good leadership by first-year crew chief Taylor Moyer.
So many great stories. There's Reddick, was into the outside wall with a flat tire, racing there for a spot inside the top 5.
You know, Reddick spun, going for the lead in overtime out in Las Vegas. Not for that. He'd be top 10 every week. New team, defending champ, no problem dealing with the changes. So much adversity here this weekend, yesterday and today.
But you can't help but just be watching at Kyle Busch. You know he's coming. He's about a 1/2 tenth to a tenth faster. He's a 1.5, maybe a 1.25 back with 15 laps to go. This is going to be really interesting what he does with Christopher Bell here. If he loses any time with Christopher Bell, that's really what Cole Custer needs.
That's a nice view out your rearview mirror when you're leading the race, and you can barely see who's back there, huh?
It is. You just hope it lasts. Good battle for 5th as well.
Yeah, Reddick back to the top 5. I got to say, this is incredible. In just a matter of time before Reddick gets a victory. Nearly won at Texas last fall, had it taken away by Cole Custer.
Oh, this is a big pass right here by Kyle Busch. He got by Christopher Bell very quickly. He cleared him. He got up in front of him to get the draft down the straightaway. And he's ready to go hunt, Cole.
Got 14 laps to get there. Plenty of time. The question becomes, what's the balance of those 2 race cars at this stage of a run on those tires?
Kyle Busch, Cole Custer, those top 2 cars, they don't want to see a caution. They just want to settle it among themselves. A couple of guys that played some strategy back outside the top 10, Gragson and Michael Annett, they could become real factors if we have a caution here late.
We've seen the best in the NASCAR Xfinity Series try and match up with Kyle Busch the last couple of weeks. They couldn't knock off the all-time wins leader. Maybe it happens today for Cole Custer. And look at that.
Look at that body you talked about, resiliency.
It is. You can see it bend, and it pops right back. That's the benefit of the composite body that's in the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
That was a great shot, wasn't it? Good job, cameraman.
It's so forgiving, isn't it?
It's crazy. And just think about our cameramen up there fighting this wind all day long. I bet their abs are hurting hanging on them big cameras, getting those great shots.
Not just today, but yesterday and even Thursday, getting everything set up in adverse weather conditions. A big thank you to everybody at NASCAR on Fox who's kept us in business this weekend. Austin Cindric, top 10 every race this year but one, tried to do it again. He's 7th right now in the 22 for Team Penske.
There's Noah Gragson.
Noah's just hoping for that yellow, and he hasn't got it yet.
Right behind him, Ryan Sieg. Another stout run for Ryan Sieg Racing. He and his father Rod own that team and really have stepped up their program 2019.
I don't know how you manage your car at this stage of the race, but Cole Custer maintaining his advantage over second place Kyle Busch here.
And here's what I saw that last lap. Kyle Busch moved up to the wall in 3 and 4, trying to find a little bit more speed. He lost 0.2. He had been gaining about a half a tenth a lap. A big chunk of time lost here, which gives Cole Custer an opportunity to maybe not have to push it quite as hard. But Kyle's in trouble here now.
That's when you just have to take a chance, though, Brad. A half a tenth maybe wasn't going to get him there, and he decided he needed to move around to try to do something different. And like you said, it cost him.
He's going to try moving back down to the bottom now. He wasn't happy with what he felt there.
Custer's up around the top. You see up ahead there? Watching that mirror.
This sequence of the last lap or two, if I'm Cole Custer, almost sealed this race. This is really important. What happens right here with Kyle and the lane he chooses. He lost 0.4 that lap, Michael. Kyle did with that move he made.
There you can see with our visor cam, such a great shot. He'll be checking that mirror out as he goes down the back straightaway. Every time you come off the corner, just glance. Make sure you look up there at that mirror and see where your competitor's at.
This victory would be big for so many reasons when you look at Cole Custer. Number one, home racetrack. You always love to win on your home turf. Number two, he's got a pair of victories in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, but both came in the playoffs when there were no Cup drivers. If he could win today and knock off Kyle Busch, who has 6 checkered flags here, oh, would that be special.
Oh, don't forget, too, if he wins today, it's a good move for him in the points as well, right?
Locked into the playoffs and all of that.
Locked into the playoffs, and he's battling right now Tyler Reddick for the points lead, which can be pretty big at come the end of the season.
What about when he was walking and talking with Regan? He said, I just don't want him to win today. He can win tomorrow if he wants to, but I'm going to make sure I do everything to keep him going to victory lane today, and that's just what Cole Custer is doing.
Coming back to 8 laps to go, and you see on our scoring pylon, he's actually pulling away right now as Cole Custer.
And I got to say, I'm really surprised by this. What we had seen up until this run was Cole Custer had really good short run speed and then fell off. It's almost like the opposite this time now, Adam. He's getting better as the laps go.
Well, you just got to hand it to Mike Shiplett for the adjustments all day long. They got better and better. He had that pit stop where he dropped back to the 10th position, overcame that. Custer's been solid behind the wheel. Joe Edmonds, spotter up on the roof, is telling Custer everything Kyle Busch is doing, and he's holding his ground right now. In fact, that last time by 0.2 better than Busch.
Mike Shiplett does have a win here. We said it earlier. Came 2 seasons ago with another California driver, Kyle Larson.
You know what I like most?
We're calling him the California crew chief, aren't we?
That's right.
You know what I like most about Custer's line, Brad? It's not dangerous. He's not right out next to the wall. He's padding about a car width away and still hauling the mail.
Yeah, that's a great point. He's got a lot of wiggle room for error. About 1 lane off the wall. So we see the 8 car's got a lot of right front fender damage from hitting the wall again.
Yeah, and that's significant because you get any debris, you can get a caution, and Cole Custer does not want to see that. And I think about our 2 intermediate races this year, Atlanta and Las Vegas. They both featured a late caution.
Lead, 2 seconds.
That's spotter Joel Edmonds there, letting Custer know he was as good as Busch the last time by. Got a couple of second lead, and he's coming to 6 to go.
And that's great info to give your driver. You know, don't make a mistake. You don't need to make a mistake. You have some lead, use it.
Down to 6 remaining.
40 to 23 to 34.
traffic factor at all here?
It can be. We are catching some groups here of slower cars.
42-34.
Joey Gase pulls to the bottom of the racetrack, respecting the leader. There in that 35 car. He's 8 laps down, had some issues early. Still trucking around, but out of the way.
I'd be more worried right now if I was Cole about somebody getting a flat tire, collecting the wall, running the Highland. There's a lot of cars tight to the wall.
5 to go.
Kyle Busch more than 2 seconds behind with 5 laps to go, Jamie.
I'm standing in Kyle Busch's pit box. A lot of people around here waiting to see what happens. Kyle was quiet on the radio until just a moment ago. He goes, well, heck, I cleaned that up, but it sounded like he knows it's a long shot at this point.
By the way, thanks for cleaning that up, Jamie.
Be ready for him not to move.
That's a great call by Joe Edmonds' spotter. He's like, hey, man, don't anticipate that they're going to get out of the way. Hopefully they will, but be ready if they don't.
Still leading 2 seconds. Yes. Just other guy up for him to stay up. All clear. 2.5 second lead.
4 to go.
42-40.
2-second advantage. You got lap traffic to deal with, and Kyle Busch in your mirror. What is the anxiety level for Cole right now?
It's still pretty high, but it's getting a little bit calmer as he cleared that lap car.
Stay behind. 3 more when you get here. Really nice. The 2 lap cars between y'all have straightaway back.
The great thing that helps Adam when you hear your lap time and he's not coming. You know, Kyle Busch isn't making any ground on you. Gives you more and more confidence as you race toward the checkered.
You really just want to see that white flag. And no, we're not going to get another caution. And then you just got to finish the job. 3 laps to go for Custer.
And I got to say,
99 in front. 42-50 to a 55.
I got to say, I'll never forget my first win in NASCAR Xfinity Series at my home track in Michigan. It was one of the biggest wins of my career. And this being his home track, Cole Custer.
To hit 55, he caught that slow car in a real bad spot. Back 2 to go. 2 to go when you get here. Get your mark.
Watch him work the wheel, though. I mean, he's not along for a Saturday afternoon drive. 180 miles an hour turning to the right. That'll get your attention.
What I was saying, though, is this would be the biggest win, I'm sure, for Cole in his career if he can bring this home here. We're just coming to 2 laps to go.
Got a couple of victories in his pocket in the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
50 to 73.
Got the season finale down at the Homestead Miami Speedway in 2017. Clinched a spot in the championship for last year with a win at Texas Motor Speedway.
50 to his 73. All clear. Coming to the white. 2.7 seconds. Just trying to make it sound like we're getting away.
Off of turn 4. White flag is in the air. It'll be 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank.
We've seen some crazy last laps here at
42-60, staying behind.
Auto Club Speedway. Cole Custer just hoping for calm.
And the California fans are on their feet out here. It's quite a sight to see. This is their prodigy that about to get his first win here in California.
Into turn 3. 1 last corner. 200 gonna have to wait. Today belongs to the California kid. Career win number 3 for Cole Custer comes at Auto Club Speedway.
Talked about that crowd, Brad.
Thank you guys. That was awesome. Great car. Good job, guys. Good job. Good job out there, wheels, and we needed it.
That's one of the loudest crowd reactions I think I've heard in the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
He beat the best.
He did. He earned this one for sure.
All right, here comes the second. Up to your right. Real nice shot, man. Way to stay focused. That's a big lead right there.
I think Joel, all you guys did a great job.
Third series regular to win this year. Michael Annett did it at Daytona. At Atlanta, it was all about Christopher Bell. And today, it's all about Joe's son. There's his father celebrating with the team.
Can't be much better feeling than that, to be standing there in your pit when your son beats the all-time Xfinity win leader, and Kyle Busch going for 200. He said before the race started, he just wanted to make sure the win didn't happen today. Great job by Cole Custer.
And he won this race driving away. Yeah, the crowd's pumped too. He won this race driving away. Cole Custer earned this. He made a pass for the lead. He drove around Christopher Bell. He really earned this win.
Kyle Busch had won the last 2 weeks, so that streak is over. So is the streak of Cup drivers winning at Auto Club Speedway. It had been 23 in a row. The last time an Xfinity driver won this race, Scott Riggs, 2002. He was driving a Ford, and so is Cole.
And this is a kind of victory, Brad, that could start the conversation of when's Cole Custer going Monster Energy Cup racing.
Absolutely.
You go out there and put on a performance like that.
Absolutely. He's got to be so excited. I can't wait to hear his interview.
How about Mike Shiplett, the crew chief? Change came late in the offseason. These two have hit it off. Runner-up at Atlanta, top 5 again last weekend at Phoenix. And today they finished the deal. Kyle Busch second, Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick, and Chase Briscoe the top 5. 2 SHR cars coming home in our first 5 today. That's solid. Saw the teammates from Joe Gibbs Racing conversing there. Kyle Busch, Christopher Bell.
Brandon Jones, another teammate from Joe Gibbs Racing, came home in the 7th position, so solid run for that team again this week.
Let's hear from Kyle Busch, Regan.
Well, Kyle Busch climbs out of his race car. Kyle, we saw and documented the pit stop problems on lap 114. It seemed like you came back through the pack pretty quick, though. Got to second. What more did your car need once you got to second?
I don't know. Just lack of grip there at the end. We just didn't have the speed we needed with the 0-0. I think I could match his lap times, but you know, earlier in the day we were 2/10 better than some of the guys, and there at the end we weren't. You know, so it is what it is, I guess. And you know, I hate it for all the IK9 guys and everybody at Extreme Concepts, but our Super was fast, just not enough there at the end.
All right, thanks, Kyle. Another fast race car for Kyle Busch. We're going to walk back here to Christopher Bell, 3rd place. Christopher, you guys had to work on this car extremely hard today to get it where you wanted it. At the end, the best it was all day long?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the deal was, but we were pretty awful. That was one of the worst races I've run yet. So really proud of our pit crew, man. They did a great job putting this Rheem Super up front, and then it was just hanging on from that point. So missed on something. I was awful all race, but to come home with a 3rd place finish is something that's something to build on for sure.
All right, thanks, Christopher. Let's go to Jamie Little in Victory Lane.
Cole Custer getting congratulations, and here he comes. A water bath in Victory Lane. Cole Custer, the California kid. What a day for you. You had an extra confidence starting earlier in qualifying, but you just beat Kyle Busch straight up. It was a huge day for him. All the headlines were about him. What does this win mean to you?
It means a ton. I mean, to start the year off, you know, with new crew chief and Mike, new engineer Javin, they just did a great job coming over here. You know, just trying to work through all the things. And, you know, we've been a little bit frustrated with ourselves. You know, we wanted to run better than 4th and top 5, but today we accomplished that. You know, we had a great car. I can't thank everybody at Thompson Pipe Group enough. I probably wouldn't be racing right now if it wasn't for their family and everything they've done. Haas Automation, I wouldn't be here without Gene either. So just a great job overall. I mean, I'm pumped. I mean, I've never won this early in the season yet, so it's going to be a little bit more relaxing than past years.
Congratulations, Cole Custer from his home state. He goes to Victory Lane. Adam?
We knew the kid had a ton of talent, and he's able to put it on full display this afternoon, getting his 3rd career victory at his home track, Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California. Xfinity cars off next week. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time at Texas Motor Speedway, and that's a perfect transition because we're going to Texas right now. It's the pre-fight show live from AT&T Stadium. Good day from California. Here's Chris Meyer.